While in high school, I remember being so excited to get to read To Kill a Mockingbird, which is strange because I never get excited about reading books. However, when it finally got time to read the book, our teacher had to tell us that we would not be able to read it due to the strong language, discussion of sexuality or rape, and the use of the N word. The purpose of my speech is to persuade members of my audience that no books should be banned or altered. The real world isn't filtered or blurred out when bad things happen, so why shouldn't students learn about such situations? I was sheltered for most of my life, and when I was finally exposed to the real world, it hit hard and unexpectedly, which is why I feel so strongly about this. I believe that no book should be banned or altered because it restricts what can be learned. It also limits the understanding of the real world and history, and it changes the meaning of what the author meant. The first point that I want to look at is that banning books restricts what can and cannot be learned in the classroom setting. In an article from commonsensemedia.org titled Why Your Kids Should Read Banned Books, the question is proposed, why do people ban books? Then answered, often it's for religious or political reasons. An idea, a scene, or a character in a book offends their religion, sense of morality, or political view. However, not every single person in the entire world is of the same religion or political beliefs. Books should not be banned because it can result in students becoming closed-minded or not being able to have the desire to learn about different religions or belief systems or political beliefs than their own. Another one of the main reasons that books get banned is because of controversial topics. A very popular book that was turned into a film that was recently banned was The Color Purple, because according to thoughtco.com, in an article titled Controversial and Banned Books, the novel includes sexual assault and abuse. Due to these controversial topics, it was deemed fit to ban this book. However, sexual abuse and assault is a real thing that shouldn't be hidden or tucked away because of the controversy surrounding it. Not only does banning books restrict what can be learned, but it also influences what is being learned. Another reason why I believe that books should be banned is because banning books gives students a false sense of reality and history. When reading books, people tend to be more drawn to characters who are going through similar situations that they are, or hardships that they have gone through. They're drawn to these characters. They're interested in these characters. The same can be said about students. Students are also drawn to characters who experience the same hardships or difficulties that they experience. However, if books continue to be banned due to these exact same hardships that the students are going through, then it makes it harder and harder for students to get to read books that they find interesting. In an article on newsrecord.org titled Banned or Burned, Banning Books Should Be a Thing of the Past, the author, Tawny Beans, writes, "The world can be an ugly and harsh place, and that is knowledge that shouldn't be hidden to children, but taught to them so that they can be prepared. How are we to expect our children to grow up and be productive members of society and truly make an influence and change on the world if we continuously hide the reality of the world from them? Books that include topics of racism or sexism encourage students to have productive discussions on these topics and to come to an understanding as to why they are wrong. They're not going to be able to learn these topics and learn why they're wrong if they're never exposed to them. Now, along with banning books, altering books has also has a negative impact on education. If we alter books to meet our educational needs, it can still change the author's purpose or meaning. Just because a word is unacceptable in today's society, it doesn't mean that it has always been unacceptable. For example, the N-word. is an awful word that should never be used today. However, long ago, well, not that long ago actually, it wasn't so unacceptable. As a matter of fact, it was used very often. In an article posted on theeconomist.com titled Sanitizing Huckleberry Finn, it says, "You can't fully appreciate why the N-word is taboo today if you don't know how it was used back then. And you can't fully appreciate what it was like to be a slave if you don't know how slaves were addressed." Overall, I hope that I have stressed why I believe that books shouldn't be banned or altered for education. Banning or altering books have negative impacts in the sense that it restricts what can be learned, it limits understanding of the real world and history, and it changes the meaning of what the author meant. So, instead of hiding our shameful past from our children, I think that we should teach them about it so that they can do something to make a change. Thank you.